Hey guys, it's Quickie Techie here, and I've got the 5 most common mistakes phone users make, and this is mostly based off of the Apple devices, but if you want, you can also try to apply it in your own terms and use it for any other device. So for number 1, we've got never plug your phone on charge in the car. So basically what I mean is never really charge your phone in the car. Straightforward. And I say that because the car itself has the little piece over here that's similar to this, but it has a different socket over here. And that socket gets power depending on whatever powers resource it's coming from. So basically, if you were to have your socket plugged in, you probably get around 5, 3, 2, 1, depending whatever your resources again I mentioned. But basically, it changed the number of amps or volts that are passing through, and that affects your phone and how long it lasts. So if you don't want to do this and you want to charge in the car, you can use a 1 amp inverter like the one right here. And you can also use a power bank like this right here. And power banks help because they're portable, you can carry them around anywhere, and they just store energy whenever you need them. So the next thing is, most Apple employees probably plug their phone in the car but don't really know the effects of the battery. And I say Apple employees because they're the ones who actually sell original cables, and they also sell cubes and power bricks as well. So I'm trying to mention here that basically many companies and other people use these bricks in their or sockets in their car, which practically destroys their phone, and then they're over here sitting wondering why. So like I said, you can use an inverter or use a power bank. And the inverter, what its job is to keep your power amount consistent. So you want to buy a 1 amp current inverter because that keeps the same amount of ampage throughout the whole cycle of you charging your phone. So number 2, never charge your phone overnight or for extended periods of time. And basically what I mean by this is you always want to use a wall outlet timer. That's one of the most gifted things I've ever bought because it's awesome. What it does is basically, you can check out the picture right here, and you can go on Amazon to search up wall outlet timer. And what it does is that it allows the electricity pass through for certain amounts of time, and once that time passes, it cuts off the electricity so your phone doesn't extra charge. And another thing is you can charge your phone during the day, but keep a watch on the battery every 30 minutes because you don't want to always keep it on 100%. Like I mentioned, that slows down the phone, and sometimes the battery gets drained out and the battery range also gets shorter. And like I mentioned in previous videos, the cells inside the battery die out when you overcharge for long extended periods of time. And so for number 3, we've got always use the original cable from Apple that comes in the box. And you can also buy an original cable from Apple itself, but make sure you buy it from there and not some other third-party dealer because they do sell fakes, and you may be intrigued why. So I've got 3 cables over here. Put the phone on the side. I've got 3 cables right here. This one, number 2, and number 3. Now, all of these are pretty much cables that charge your phone. And that's what you're wondering for, and that's what you need from your phone. That's literally it. But that will shorten your life. So the difference between these is you can clearly see that this Apple does not sell that. Nope. So forget about that one. So the one on the left is darker than the one on the right. The USB logo right here. And you'll often see many people try to keep it the same, but it just doesn't work out. And the second reason you'll find out is right here. I don't know if you guys can see that, but those little 2 boxes right there, The one on the right is the fake, so that is the one that has the little curvy edges on the side of it, and the one on the left is the one that's cubed. And you can maybe also see that the one on the right has a silver piece inside instead of the gold, right there. I don't know if you guys can see that, but that one of them is silver, one of them is gold. So that's pretty important that you want to make sure that you keep in mind. And the pins sometimes look different. Some of them look very, very similar, so it's hard to tell the difference. But you'll see that the original is right here on the right, and the fake is on the left. So you can just feel that the material of this is really, really bad. And right here on the pins, you can see that the one on the right is original because of how clean it looks. The one on the left, I'll post a picture right here, but you'll be able to see the little connector pieces aren't really that great, and they look really, really bad. And Apple is all about innovation, and basically they want to keep everything in control, so they use the proper resources to make their cables. So, what else goes with the cable? So, that brings us on to number 4, the power brick. And the power brick is often messed up with a lot of people because they don't use what comes in the box, or they either lose it. And as you guys can see right here, it has the Apple logo right at the top of it. And also, it also says that the cube runs at 1 amp or 5 volts. Now, some other people tend to use these things right here, which is built for the iPad. And this takes more electricity out of your socket. And it has 2.1 amps or 5.1 volts. You don't want to make sure that you don't really use it with your phone because it's not really meant to. Now, some people have been using this trick to charge their phone quicker. And I know that's not a word. But basically, it's not the best way to go. It's going to short your battery, and you don't want to do it. And it can ruin your charging port as well. Now, some other people also use these third-party things. And you don't want to use these, and you want to use what Apple gives. It's like these things right here. You don't want to use these because you don't know the ampage, you don't know the number of volts, and they're not really specifically designed for iPhones or tablets, depending on whichever device you're using. So I don't recommend using these. So number 5, this is the last one. This might be one where you might be wondering why, and I'm going to explain it to you. So never take your phone to the bathroom, especially when taking showers. And most people do this just to have it near them, or they also do it to have some music on with speakers, and that's another thing you don't want to keep nearby. Speakers in the bathroom, nope. No, it's a big no-no. And basically what I mean by that is the moisture and humidity in the air can affect the circuit and the motherboard inside the phone. So basically the air can, or the humidity can pass through the top holes right here, these bottom holes over here. This is like where it mainly gets through. And sometimes it can get through the glass depending on the level and intensity of the humidity. And you want to make sure that it doesn't get through. And to do that, you want to just not take your phone to the bathroom. And you'll realize that your phone is going to start to react weird, which you don't really want. And the worst part is you won't even know. Unless you watch this video, you really won't really know. And when your phone is water damaged and you bring it to a repair shop, it's really hard to diagnose, especially with moisture and humidity in the air, because no marks are really shown. And when you have water spilled inside, you can clearly tell where it has been corroded on the motherboard. So, thing is, your best bet would probably be to buy a new phone, and then the same thing occurs again and again. So you're stuck in that little loop and you're wondering why. So guys, that will wrap it up for this video. And if you guys like this 5 most common mistakes phone users make, please go ahead and like, comment, and subscribe down below for future videos. And yeah, I'll see you in the next one. Peace.